Monday live stream. My name's Shane Olson, and today we're going to be continuing to work on this amazing concept by Sandro Clouseau. I apologize, my throat is still a little phlegmy from my getting over the COVID, so I'm just kind of working through it, and I just wanted to finish up this guy and maybe start on some expressions. And I'm having a lot of fun with this guy. I hope you guys are having fun watching, so let's get to it. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Okay. And I love this guy still. Hey, McShroomy. Nice name. I love it. Hey, Neil. How you doing? All right. So let's get right to it and see where we left off. Okay, we have this. We still need to build his hat, his hair, his shirt, and his collared shirt. Yeah, I'm doing a little better, thanks. But I have this little, just this tiny, annoying little tickle in the back of my throat that makes me want to clear my throat, and sometimes I go into coughing fits. So if that happens, I apologize. I have some cough drops and some Sprite and some mints. I'm good to go. So hopefully we'll keep the problem under control. Because obviously talking makes it worse. So, okay. Let's get, try and decide what I want to do with him. If I want to merge these pieces together and then, because usually I don't keep these separate. I was thinking I do want to blend this bottom one at least, maybe not the top one, but the bottom one for sure, into the neck here, and then retopologize or remesh this entire thing. But let's build out his clothing here, if you'd call it that. Okay, so I want to kind of make this into a bust. So I'm going to use the knife curve brush. That's BK if you want to find the knife curve brush. And then you just kind of cut it on a slant. Oh, goodness. Ugh. I apologize. I wish I had a mute button too. I don't have a mute button on this setup. So the knife brush, what's nice about that is it will cut off the portion and make a new poly group, and it will fill this with the same density of whatever you're cutting it from, but in squares, which is awesome. So yeah, let's get this. Let's flatten this out. Again, I can't apologize enough for the clearing of the throats. Oh gosh, it's not fun, but who's complaining? Okay, let's get this filled in with color across the bottom here. I just want this to be concave rather than convex down here. Okay, there we go. It's a nice little neck. Let's get a shirt made. No, Neil, I don't think so. It's not very typical that you would get like the same strain or whatever, and I haven't really been anywhere to catch it again, and it's not going around in my house again, so I think I'm safe that way. I think it's just leftover remnants of the past gombu, so no worries there. Okay, so the shirt, I'm just going to mask and extract it, I think. And then Z-remesh it. That tends to be my more favorite method these days. Well, you know what I'm going to do instead? Thanks, Neil. Okay. Plus, you know, I'm going to tell you guys, can the knife tool only slice straight, or would I need to use something like clip curve for that? McSturmy, actually, there's a knife lasso tool, and so you can cut in different ways. And there's also a rectangle, a lasso, a curve. So with this straight, you can also make that straight a curve just by double tapping Alt in the middle of your drawing path. And then you also have a knife circle. Now, you can't cut a circle out of the interior of an object. You can only cross into an object. So same with the knife rectangle. You can't really slice a circle out of something. For that, you would use live boolean with an object. So you can still do that, just not with a knife tool, if that makes sense. Yeah, they're really, really nice though. Okay, so what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to duplicate this, and then I'm going to I'm going to slice it with the knife tool. I got to think. Hey, what's up, Angry? How you doing? So as I drag this out, I can double click Alt. Well, double clicking gives me a sharp angle. It's not really what I want. Okay. I need a soft angle, and so you just tap it once. So Control plus Shift, you start to drag out a line. You can let go of Shift, or else it's going to snap to the angles like this. And then if you actually add the space bar to this, pushing it down, you can move the bar around. And then if I hit Alt, then I can do a smooth bend like this. If that makes sense. I can just slice it off like that. And now, because this is going to be for 3D printing, I do want this shirt to be solid, just like this. And now that I have these 3 poly groups, hey Lou, how you doing? Now I can take a moment and Z-remesh this with hopefully a bit of success. So I can turn on Keep Groups, and I'm going to turn Smooth Grouping way down, not all the way down, but pretty far down. Change my target polygons to, let's say, 1 for 1000, and we get a pretty good result. I guess I shouldn't have smoothed this because it made it kind of like this, but I can grab the Clip Curve brush and make that flat again, like so. And now I can just do Z-remesh by half, and that will just reduce the poly count over and over again until it's pretty low. I'm liking that. And now I'm going to scale it on the object's normals. And how you do that is if you hover over this yellow square, you can see it says Control to inflate. So I hold down Control, and then I want to inflate it, but I don't want to do that yet until I see the dude's head and see how far I need to inflate out from the object. So I can go like this, and now it's creating a bit of thickness, and I can move this down a little bit. And now, since it's much lower polygon, it's easier to deal with. Excuse me, geez. Okay. And then I want to turn my smooth intensity way down, otherwise it'll smooth too fast for me to manage. I actually want to mask this bottom portion off. I don't want to move it. I just want to smooth off the bottom of it here. And now that I have this shirt here, rather than dealing with the skin underneath, whatever it's trying to do, I can just go back to the dude's head and just kind of knife. Let's do BK knife and just knife this portion off the opposite direction, like this. See you later. And now, if I turn on transparent, you can see I just have that head sticking barely down into the shirt, and it's not going to compete with it. Now I can do whatever I want with that shirt. I see a lot of students will try and keep their geometry on the inside of their clothing, and that's not whether you're making it for games or for 3D printing, that's not what you want to do. The only time you want to keep the skin or the body underneath the clothes is if the character is going to take its clothes off. Yeah. Here's the comments about taking the clothes off. But anyway, I'm going to crease poly groups at a level of 3, dynamic, and crank this up to 4. That will give us some smooth, nice smooth bevels around the edges. Now, what I could do to create some sort of a shadow between the skin and the shirt to create some kind of an illusion of thickness around the edge here is what I could do is I could bevel this line. Let's see. Or I could insert a line here. Let's try this. Z-modeler, insert an edge. And if I hold down Shift, can you see that popping back and forth? It's actually going to make the line match up to the outer edge. Whichever is the closer edge, it'll make it line up to that a little bit better. So now I have this, this edge around here. I can hover over one of these polygons and I can change the target. I want it to extrude, but I can change it to poly loop. And poly loop is just a string of faces that goes around in a loop. So you can see it says extrude poly loop, and there's this little orange line. I don't know if you guys can see that orange line going around in 90-degree angles or 45-degree angles. And it's going to extrude it in the loop direction, whatever direction the orange line is facing. So since I want to do this one, I just grab it and pull it up like this. And now we have our thickness to our shirt, but we still have a solid object, which is nice. Hey, Short Motion, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Now, I don't want to crease this right here. I guess I could give this shirt an actual collar if I wanted to, like a t-shirt. I mean, that's not how shirt collars work, but I can grab this top edge and kind of swing it back. Hey, Raphael, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Okay, so I think I'm going to do that. Let's grab this mask lasso, and we're just going to mask this bit right here. Invert, and put it up like this. Give him a collar, turn on dynamic, so we can kind of see what it's doing here with it all creased. Kind of a fun little weird shirt, all right. Then we can pull this down so it's not hiking up his neck quite so high. And then I kind of want to pull this this edge out that's making this collar. So what you can do with that is go back to ZModeler, hover over an edge, and say transpose. Let's see, transpose edge loop complete is what we want. And when we click on this edge, it's going to mask everything else out except for this one edge. And with this one edge showing, I can do the same trick. Hold down Control to inflate and just inflate this out so it doesn't, so it's not doing, going so far in. And I can just kind of rotate this down here and just move it so it's not so crazy. Hey, Charlie, how are you? Okay, so clear that now, and let's turn on dynamic and just see. Kind of probably lost most of its character, but that's okay. And we can also cut a little t-shirt neck line around it, basically by extruding. I keep hitting solo. Basically by beveling and putting some more detail in here. So let's just go ahead and do that, just so we can get him a decent neckline here. So let's go bevel. Where are you, bevel? Bevel edge loop complete. Just bevel this out. And then I want to insert an edge loop right along here. And then we can do the old transpose trick on just this center one. Hold down Control, push it inside. Hey Maverick, welcome, welcome. And now we have a nice little border. I feel like this is a bit too high back here, so let's kind of tune it. Hey Cricket, how are you? Good to see ya. Okay, now it looks like the inside wall of this is creased and the outside, or the outside is creased and the inside is not. So let's crease 2 more things here. Chill enough work day that I can actually join. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're here. Very cool. Okay. Crease. Edge loop complete. Boom right there. Boom right there. And now we have it creased. I think I'm going to turn the crease level down to a 2 just to soften that up some more. There we go. It's soft like material, right? Soft t-shirt stuffs. So there you go. I'm liking that. So now we get the ambient occlusion around the t-shirts, the thickness, and this will actually 3D print okay. So I'm happy with that. Let's let's kind of darken it up, and because it's the same color as his skin, so that's a little off-putting, right? Nice skin shirt. Okay, so let's grab this. I don't think this yellow is going to do it. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I'm actually okay with that. So let's fill it. And now let's make his upper shirt, the foldy bit, the foldy shirt. Okay, let's see. How do we want to make this one? Several ways we can do it. We could do another, you know, take his neck and delete what isn't the shirt. I like saying that because it's, I think somebody, I can't remember who it was, but somebody was asking him how they carved in marble, and they're just like, well, I just remove everything that's not the character that I'm sculpting. Genius. That's how you do it, right? Just take away everything that's not the thing. So let me straighten this out just a little bit more. Okay. So I think I'm going to do that. Let's take this head again, duplicate it. Let's save it. Save it as 04. And oh, that's right. We lopped off the bottom of this neck, so we can't do it. Can't do it. Reminds me of those old How to Draw Mickey books. Totally. So this is Sandro Clouseau, and he channels, his favorite artist is Milt Kahl, one of the 9 Old Men, you know. So hi from Russia. Hello. What does crease level mean? The level of subdivision when the creasing stops. Yes, exactly. So it will hold on to that crease until the level that you set, and then it will let go of that crease and then subdivide that. Yeah, start with a sphere, add some detail, then you get Mickey. I like that meme that says, start with a circle, add the ears, get a cease and desist from Disney, and then erase the ears and make a cat. I can't laugh because I'll end up in coughing fits. Oh, okay, but that makes me laugh. Okay, so since we can't do that, let's do let's just draw the geometry on the top. Let's see what happens. All right. Okay. Sorry. 1 second. Okay. I know, right? Yeah. So those of you who don't know, that I'm just getting over the COVID. My two youngest and myself got it, and we're just trying to get over it. It wasn't that bad. I mean, honestly, we just kind of hung out and stay quarantined so the rest of my family wouldn't get it, and it was all right. Okay, so using this topological brush, hey FXH, how are you? I can just draw right over the top of these two things. And yes, it will do one of these things, but I don't really care. I'm doing pretty well, except for trying to get over COVID. So I'm just going to draw it as close to the bottom here as I can get it. And then let's swing around the back here. Let's draw another line. Ooh, let's do it better. I got to stick to that center line. Okay. And then from the front, I'm not going to draw a center line because it's open. So let's do kind of turn it a little bit. And we will draw a line here and then kind of turn it in. And then let's connect it, I guess, right there. See how that goes. Have a few questions, sir? Sure, shoot. See if I can answer them. Okay. And then, so we have those. Let's do a couple more verticals. Maybe one here. One here. Just kind of split the difference. Okay. And now, let's go around this direction. Okay, you're not going to see anything until I make quads, until I start making squares. So as I start to draw these, squares will appear. And I'm going to go right along this edge here. And I'm basically just drawing the topology in as I go. Let's might as well do this bottom one while we're doing it. Now, I'll connect this one across the bottom, but as far as this one goes, well, I'll sew it in the center after we're done. This is good enough to work with. Okay, so now what I do is I just change my draw size down to 1 and then tap on the surface, and then it makes new geometry, but it's part of this subtool. So I need to split it off by clicking on Split Unmask Points, and then arrow down. What is really the main difference between the model for a game, a move, I assume you meant movie, and 3D print? I meant if the topology was correct, does it really matter? It does matter. So for the high resolution model, the workflow is pretty much the same. The only difference is for 3D printing, just like I'm doing with this guy, I will usually make the object solid all the way through. So because the models need to be watertight, they can't have air pockets in them. So I want to make sure it doesn't have air pockets. And with games and movies, you don't have to worry about that. I'm also thinking about, with 3D printing, I'm also thinking about where the cut lines are going to be in case I need to key this thing. And with movies and games, you don't have to think about that. And the difference between movies and games are games use slightly lower resolution with UVs, normal maps, and like gloss maps, metal maps, all those kinds of things. And where in as with film, your resolution would be slightly higher, and it uses subdivisions. You can actually use subdivisions because it's rendered. In games, you can't use subdivisions. And then you use displacement maps because you have all this geometry to work with. You can actually displace the geometry rather than using normal maps. So that's the difference there. And then with the UVs, you use UDIMs, which is basically the ability to cut the character into multiple gigantic maps rather than a smaller single map. It's just for, it's just because the cost of those maps are more expensive, so you can't use them in the game. So anyway, and yes, they're getting closer and closer, but they're not quite there yet. But with Unreal 5 and films, they're getting closer and closer to using just game/movie characters in the same environment. So we're not far off. We're getting there. Hope that answers your question. Is ASUS RIG Strix G15 Advanced Edition good for 3D render? I have no idea. I assume that's a computer. I'm not sure. So I just know that with ZBrush, ZBrush utilizes CPU the most. It does utilize RAM and GPU a bit, but CPU the most. It's very CPU intensive. So, okay, now that I have these drawn, I'm going to pull these forward. But most of the time these days, I like to create my models for 3D printing. So even though I know how the models for film and games, I worked in the game industry for, gosh, I think it's like 23 years now. So I know how they work, but I'm a bit over it at this point, and I love to do 3D printing. So that's kind of what I gravitate to. I have a bunch of 3D printers. I love to teach it as well. Speaking of teaching, if you're interested in this stuff, I do teach a course. It's called the 3D Character Workshop. And I give away these brushes and this user interface for free if you're interested. Oh, thanks, Cricket. Yeah. Yeah, 3D software will give you a minimum requirement recommendation for sure. Hey, Sheriar, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. I am modeling a character in ZBrush. Okay, that kind of looks like this so far. So no 3D print, no air pocket. For game, low res, but more texture to it. And movies have high res and texture, correct, and subdivision levels. Yeah, you can't really use subdivision levels or morph targets really in Game Engine. Morph targets are becoming more and more accessible just because game consoles are getting quicker, so you can use it. Can you share the link for your course? Yeah, I believe Neil, would you mind popping it up there? And I'm actually having a back to school promotion right now. So if you use the coupon code back to school, no spaces, you'll get 25% off. Yeah, someday polys won't matter. For sure. What's an air pocket? An air pocket is like just an empty hole inside your model where, because I print with resin printers, so liquid resin, if liquid resin gets caught up in those holes, and it will never cure, and it will just leak out of your model. So you don't want to have that. Excuse me. Yeah, that the coupon ends tomorrow. You have until tomorrow. Back to school. What laptop is good for rendering animation? Just the strongest one you can afford is my advice. Okay. I'm going to stitch these 2 points together. Actually, I'm going to cut one more row in here. There. And stitch these. There we go. 1, 2. Oh gosh. 2. Whoa. Let's turn off this one. This one. Come on. Oh, I need to go to the center. To midpoint. There you go. So stitch 2 points to midpoint is what I'm looking for. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Hey Quicks, how are you? It's coming along. I'm just making the clothing for him. Thank you very much. If you don't mind, can you talk a little bit about what your course has in it? Yeah. So, sorry. Come on, dang throat. You can do it. Okay. I can actually show you a little bit on the inside what it looks like. Give you a backdoor pass behind, what is it called? So when you first log in, you're going to see a bit more than you would if you were a student, but for the most part, you'll see all this. This is the library when you first log in. And there's the 3D Character Workshop 2.0. This has been out for about 5 years now. I have I have over 2,000 students. Crazy. And the reason why I can handle that many is because it's a lifetime access and not everybody is active in there all at once. And then there are communities. I can show you those in a second. There are Q&As that I try and do at least one Q&A every single month, if not more. I need to up those again. Kind of been slacking a little bit, but this is the original workshop where I walk you through making this character. And then I have some bonuses. I have a bonus of walking you through how to make this character from start to finish. I'm just going to click in here to show you. See, it goes from block out all the way to retopology for a game character, all the way to UVs and to texturing inside of Substance Painter. So that's just this one character. And then if you're brand new in ZBrush, I have this early beginner walkthrough bonus. I have some industry pro interviews where I interview other amazing artists. And this one's gone. You won't see this one. And then this is a 3D printing character that I'm working on right now. It's Lion-O from Thundercats, and I'm building him to be 3D printed. So that's all the stuff you get. And the forum looks like, the community looks like this. So this is all student work. None of this is my work. So you can just see I have a top row in here, kind of like ZBrush Central, and you can see a bunch of student work going on. Yeah, it's really fun. So you can hop in here and post your work and get feedback, and it's amazing. It's been, like I said, it's been going on for a really long time. So you can hop in there and check it out. Backstage pass. Yeah, thanks, Cricket. Backstage pass. What did I say? Back door. That means something else. Let's see. I'm interested in the course as well. Hey, Thomas. Sweet. I want to be a freelancer. I want to make 3Ds with rig. How can I start freelance? I'm struggling to get one. I don't know. I would just say try and find the equipment that the best equipment that you can from where you are at. Hey, what's up, Eric? Yeah, you're Kermit top row. Woohoo! And yes, there is a private Discord as well. There's a lot of activity happening in the private Discord channel. Thank you so much. Yes, sir. Better watch what I say, right? Oh gosh, I can't laugh. I'll go into I'm telling you, I'll go into coughing fits. All right, let's continue getting this shirt done here. Oh, time to turn on symmetry again. Let's pull this way out. Let's turn on double. I'm also working on some new hair brushes too. What rendering software do you personally prefer? I use Marmoset currently, but Redshift looks very nice. I haven't used Redshift yet, but I want to. I'm assuming there, because I don't work for Pixelogic or Maxon. I'm just a volunteer here, but I'm assuming that I mean, it's Maxon. Maxon is Redshift. Redshift just bought ZBrush, so I'm just putting two and two together that they're probably working on some kind of a Go Z thing that allows you to push models back and forth. I know that I mean, that's my guess, but so that's why I'm looking forward to using Redshift. Just if it's easy and it keeps the subdivision levels, that would be amazing. And then before that, my favorite rendering engine for a long time has been Keyshot, and that's the same reason, because I can push my models back and forth between ZBrush and Keyshot rather easily. And then I love Marmoset for real-time rendering. It's kind of like, yeah, I love Marmoset. It's a lot like, it's like a game engine. It is a game engine. So Marmoset's a game engine that they turn into a model viewer. It's really, really nice. So, Wicked Designs Nective. I'm getting there, man. Yeah, I've just so you know, I've been working on this guy for about 2.5 hours total, and I'm just working on the shirt right now, and I'll get there, and when I get there, I'll make the adjustments. So, yeah, please hold your feedback until the end, but I appreciate it. All right. Yes, I am working on new hairbrushes. Nice thing about Marmoset too is that if you can export poly paint and use it in your materials, yes. It also respects your poly groups, so you can appropriate texture with those too. Yeah, it's called a clown pass or an ID map. You can make a super high colored map in there, and it works really well. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Somebody asked a question. Oh, did you say you're working on some new hairbrushes? Yes. And I have them right here. You can kind of get a preview. So I'm just working on some for stylized hair. It's just super simple hair. So I have one that's like a square. It's a tapered, it's shaped like a square as it goes down. And then I have one that's like a square with a point on the end. And I actually have them curled down into, like, if it was going to go into the scalp. So then you can turn on dynamic subdivisions. You'll get a nice clean subdivision out of it. And then I have just a triangle one that has like a peak on it, and it comes to a point. And again, it turns down into the head. And then I have this rounded one that's just a simple round snaky type hair. So there's your preview of the 4 different things I'm working on. So eventually it should work out pretty good. Okay, let's make this have some thickness. Gotta get rid of those creases. There we go. Okay, thickness. Yeah. I ran across a character that I worked on a while back, and that character had some really nice square hair that I made a brush for that a long time ago, and I forgot about it. I'm like, man, I should make that hairbrush again. So I did. And I'm like, hey, while I'm making these, I just did this last night. I'm like, hey, since I made this hairbrush, I might as well make another one that has a pointy end, and then another one that's a triangle. They're really easy to make. If you want to see the actual file, what you do to make a hairbrush is you make it look like this. So you make it look, so have this little guy up in the corner look at you, so front view, and then you make it into 3 parts. So you have a beginning, this is where it goes down into the head, and then a middle, this is the part that gets repeated all along the curve, and then you have the end, the tip or whatever it is. So, and then it comes pre-creased, and then the secret is to move them apart from each other a little bit, and then remove the interior faces from these boxes. So there's just a hole on the front of this and a hole on the back of this. That way it'll get welded as you make the curve. And then all you have to do is go brush and then hit create insert mesh right here. It'll create a new one, and then it'll pop it up here, and then you just go to stroke and turn on your curve mode right there, and then it'll stretch along the curve. And then I should turn that off for this brush. And then you go to curve modifiers and you can adjust the taper on there. And then make sure you go under brush modifiers and you turn on weld points and stretch. If you turn on those 2 buttons, then you'll get your hairbrush to work nicely. So there you go. Why do I forget about that and always feel the need to use Q-Mesh? Yeah, the thickness slider on dynamic subdivisions. That's where that is. It just gives you a preview of what it would look like if you extruded it. So it's kind of a nice thing to do. Then you can just turn it off when you're not needing it. So what I'm going to do with this now is I'm going to grab this edge. Well, you know, I'm just going to insert an edge here, and then mask this top. Ooh, I'm doing it with my mouse for some reason. Okay, center this, and then just kind of pull it out. Turn my little gizmo. Pull it out this way. And then pull it down. Whoop. Just like a collar. Hey, what do you know? Okay. Something like that. Actually, now that I have it down there, I think it's a little too far out. I'll bring it in. Something like that. Now we can Dynamesh it. Now it shrinks substantially. So now what I want to do is, yeah, we'll extrude it and then add the creases on it. But I do want to add. Let's bevel the top right here. Maybe. Let's see what happens when I bevel it. Bevel, edge loop complete. Just so it's not so sharp across the top there. Now I can insert one about there. And I like to match what's behind it. So one about there. Yeah. So that works pretty good. I can put the whole thing in one poly group by hitting Control W, and then, hey Martin, how you doing? Thank you. Yeah, you just build it like you would make a collar out of cloth, right? Okay, so I'm gonna extrude poly group. So poly group all. Let's see what happens when we do this. Okay, it's gonna wrap on itself. So I'm gonna extrude the other way, from the inside rather than the outside. Now, notice this does not. This is not solid. So I have to think about that when I'm going to 3D print it. I'm going to turn on dynamic and turn thickness off now. Off. We don't need double thickness. There we go. That's looking so much better. We can turn up the subdivisions to make it softer. And now it looks like cloth. And we can, let's see, we can do some edge creasing work if we want to make it not so thin. For 3D printing, you want it thicker. So you can go crease polygroups. Let's go a level of 2, maybe 1. Doesn't look too bad. I think I will crease down the front here just so it doesn't make this weird whatever that's doing. Yeah, because I mean I could split it, overlap it like a real shirt does, or I can just crease this edge, excuse me. Crease that edge. Let's see what it looks like. There we go. It's not too bad. Then let's get a color. Maybe this color. See what we get. Now we can adjust it all around so the it's not interpenetrating the shirt. Okay. Oh, gotta turn on symmetry here. All right. Hey Gambit, how are you? Things are okay with me, thank you. There we go. Man, come on, throat, you can do it. Yeah, this is still kind of weird poking out right there, but that's okay. And I can also crease the, is that crease down there? No, it's not, that's why. Okay, so I'm gonna crease these edges here. So we get sharper ends, and then inside of here, that will probably help. If it's not creased already. Right down there. Oof. Hard to hit. That. There we go. And let's move this up and out. So hopefully it'll behave better. A little better. Okay. Those interior creases are always a bugger to deal with. Let's see what happens if I turn the crease level up. Yeah, maybe a 2. That's holding it a little sharper. Crank this up to a 4. Better. Okay. There we go. Let's fix this in the back here. Just so you can see the shirt barely back there. There we go. Fun. Now he looks all like derp. Okay. Yeah, that so funny. So fun. Okay, so now that I have all that in place, I am going to skinny up this neck and make him have a really pointy Adam's apple. Then bring his neck in more back here. Just smooth it out. Too funny. Yeah, the pelican. He probably catches fish really well. Okay. Now let's adjust this shirt. I like where the collared shirt is resting, but I don't like where this internal shirt is. So let's bring that down. Got to show more of his chest that isn't there, so we're going to have to move that chest down too. There we go. Liking that. And then let's bring these collars out a little bit more. I don't know why I'm whispering. This guy's funny. All right. Now that we have that in place, I'm going to take a drink. Come on, carbonation. Do your thing. All right. Now, I feel like his skin is a little too, like yellowish. So I want to warm it up a bit. So I'm going to grab the airbrush here. Grab the skin color. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's a little in the orange. So let's pull it into the red and maybe lighten it up a bit. Still like the expression below the one you're using? Yeah. Also love the repetitive shapes in the nose and the ears. It's so much fun. Yeah. So great. Which reminds me I need to kind of fix this nose. Ooh. There we go. Better. All right. Yeah. You know what? I was actually thinking about that as soon as I did it. I was like, yeah, a little tree right there. Oh, goodness. All right. So let's get the hat on there, and then we can see where the hair is going to live. And yes, I keep doing my Bob Ross-isms. So now that we have that, let's save it. And pull in a pupil, a little. Is that straight? No. Let's reset this. There we go. Give him some personality here. Yay, okay, let's split it off. I think I'm going to color them the same color as these eyebrows, though. Make them a little bit darker. Yep, Cricket, you saw. Yep, you caught that. I am going to give him some upper eyelashes as well to darken that up. And I did. It's funny because I did that specifically after I watched those videos we were talking about the other day. I did that before our conversation, but after I watched the videos, yeah. Okay, so let's reveal those pupils a little bit more. Too funny. Okay, so let's draw some eyelids on here. Now for the eyelids, I like to turn it sideways just because I have a better arc in my the flick of the wrist, whatever you want to call it. Because everybody has, whether you're left-handed or right-handed, you only have one really good pivot point in your arm and an arc in your arm and your wrist. And so That's why I turn it to the side. Otherwise, you're kind of trying to kink your wrist and you'll get weird drawing. Yeah, Cricket, I was also thinking about, like, you know, I might do that. It's not here in the drawing, but I was thinking about pushing the, you know, what we were talking about, pushing that line in right there and going up to the eyelid that way, just continuing carrying it over and through here. But let's try adding the eyelashes first. Okay, boom, boom. I'm doing this exactly the same as I did the shirt, in case you're wondering. And then instead of doing a thickness thing, I'm just going to pop it like that. And it will make it whatever thickness your brush is. Split unmasked points. Okay. Didn't mean to go dynamic on that. I want to go down and then hit, there we go. Uncrease all. And I think we're good here. Let's drag it around a bit. Just to fine tune it in there. Don't want to make him look angry. He's not grumpy. Just want to thin this out right there. And back here. Okay. There we go. It adds a whole bunch of personality when you do that. Okay. Now I'm just going to try something really quick. I'm going to save it first. Anytime I try stuff, I like to save it first. And I want to try doing what I was just talking about, just kind of connecting these two. See what happens if I do. Okay. And then pulling this bit up and out the opposite way. Maybe. It's really difficult to tune. And then I'm going to just kind of smooth this out. Maybe not so hard. Because I don't want a super deep line in there, but I do want it to look connected. There we go. Let's pull this out a little bit more forward. You guys are quiet all of a sudden. What's going on? Is this thing still on? I actually kind of like when chat goes quiet because it means that people are just kind of focused on what I'm doing or they're distracted. Probably a mixture of both. All right. Yes, I feel that'll be some nice spec hits too. Yeah, exactly. Some nice. Thanks, Christopher. Focus. Cool. Working on a project for college, still listening. Awesome. Okay, so for these eyeballs, I always like to fill them. Bob pressing so hard that people fell asleep. You're gonna send me into a coughing fit because I've done that before. I've either made people go to sleep or I've gone to sleep listening to Bob Ross myself. Never knew about the adjust colors in the poly paint palette yesterday on a stream. Oh yeah, on it's great. And so is the adjust colors. It's really cool. Waiting for work on one monitor, blocking out Yogi Bear on the other, and you on the third. Nice. All encompassing. Very cool. Distracted by watching you instead of working. As long as you don't get caught. Goodness. Okay. I'm going to try these mints. Hold on a second. Curiously strong Altoids. Here we go. Okay. Switching to... no worries, no worries. Let's see. Switching to toy plastic so I can fill these eyeballs with it. Material. Fill object. That's how you do it. Fill something with a material. Is I usually just grab one of my paintbrushes, switch it to a material, switch to the material that I want, hit fill object, and then go back to skin shade 4, and only that object will remain filled with that material. See the little highlights on there? It just kind of gives it that little extra whatever. And now I can bump the smoothness up on these to make that highlight even a little rounder. There we go. Okay. Pretty excited with how this guy's turned out. Man, Sandro draws his eyes close together. They're even closer than what I have. And I may experiment with putting them closer together, but in 3D, that doesn't quite work out that well. So we're going to stick with it for now. Let's get that hat going. Okay. Whoop. Reset the gizmo first. And this hat, I feel like, should be like a red or a brown or something. Let's just see what happens if I grab this color and fill it. Turning off material. Yeah, sure. Why not for now? All right. And let's use clip curve on this one instead of knife. And that just takes all that geometry and smashes it down so it's still all there and clean. It doesn't make a new poly group with new geometry like the knife brush does. Sometimes you want that, sometimes you don't. Okay, so now let's start shaping it. Yeah, that might work. So I'm going to hang the hat off of the back of his head a bit just to make room for the hair. And then I'm going to turn on Move Infinite because I want to move all the way through this sphere and pull it into like a squarish shape. No, thanks for reminding me about that color shifting. I might try that with this. With the skin, but I wonder if I can just change the yellow. I just don't want the yellow quite so yellow. Hey, what's going on, Ash? How you doing? Still working on Mr. Derp here. That's his name, Mr. Derpy Lurpy. How are you doing? Mr. Derpy Lurpy. Like his ears. Thank you very much. So Ashley's another live streamer on here. I just have, and she does stylized characters as well. And I have to ask you, Ashley, what if you feel the same way? So see how close Sandro drew his eyes? Have you ever made a character with eyes that close together before? It's like There's no real estate in the middle. And for me in 3D, it's very, very difficult to get them that close and have them look good. I might try it, but I just wonder what your hot take is on it. If you agree with that or not. Yep, I have. I just finished one with eyes that close actually for work. Yeah. Crazy, crazy. Yeah, it's just kind of difficult to get it there. Let's try a purple. There we go. Kind of muted purple. I might go warm. This hat's warm. I kind of like it. So I might take it to maybe a warm, maybe, let's go with, well, not pink, maybe pink. I don't know. Because purple is kind of warm. Well, it starts to get cool down in here. Let's go with maybe this. I don't know. But you usually have to make the nose bridge and ocular plane pretty, oh, that's what that's called. Ocular plane. Pretty flat instead of sunken in sockets. Okay. You're talking about this little bit right here, yeah? Ocular plane. All right. I got to note that. Ashley knows all the names. I don't. I just know what love is. The whole rectangle that encompasses the eye socket. Oh, the whole, this bit right here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you got to get that really close. So I wonder what the flat area in this zone right here, I got to look up and see what that's called. Because in Sandra's drawing, it doesn't have it, but I was just trying to get it in there. Yeah, we'll see. We can experiment. I have a really cool way of adjusting eyeballs. You want to see it? I'll show you. I think I've shown it in a live stream before. Such a tiny sliver of a nose bridge. Sliver of a nose bridge. Okay, I'm going to show you the trick. Here we go. Even though he doesn't have a bill on his cap yet. We're going to diverge and I'll show you. And I have a lesson on this in my course, actually, that goes in a bit deeper than this. But, okay, for the most part, basically what you do is and it's easier if this is Z-remeshed and subdivided, but you can still do it with a Sculptress Pro mesh. It's just a little more difficult because you're going to have to clean up a lot around what you move. But basically not with the mask lasso, with mask pen, you mask off the bit that you want to move. And it's also more difficult because it's more dense. With Sculptress Pro mesh, you kind of want a lighter mesh. I might save this until I Z-remesh and subdivide it. Let's just go ahead and try it because I can already tell that this is too dense. But let's see what we can do. Okay. Now, once you get to something like this, then you can blur the heck out of it. That might work. That might work. Then you invert it. Because the only thing I want to move is the area around the eyeballs. Right? And normally you would like move the eyeballs and then the pupil and then the eyelash and then, one after another, or you could take it into T-pose mesh and move everything that way. But now that we have the pizza boxes, otherwise known as Transpose All Selected Subtools here in the gizmo, you can click on that, open it up, hold down Control plus Shift, drag and let go. Here, let's move over to Select Lasso. And then that clears your selection. So now I'm moving nothing, okay? But if I hold Control plus Shift, click on the things I want to move, like the pupil, the eyeball, the eyelashes, and the head. So now I have all this selected, and these the Transpose All Selected Subtools, use as masking. So super cool. I can just reset this gizmo so it's flat with the world. Now I can just grab these corners or any of these arrows or whatever, and I can just move these eyeballs closer. But see how it's crossing in the center? That's okay. I'll just have to clean it up. But you can see I can move these eyeballs anywhere I want to, and then I can put this gizmo kind of in the center, in the front of the eye like this. That way, if I wanted to, I could scale it up and down and just make some adjustments with the eyes as a whole. So super cool. The structure underneath that corner is the lacrimal bone. Interesting. Okay, so what I could do with the masking is I can mask off the center to make sure that the center doesn't move, or I could just clean it up afterwards, and that's probably what I'll do. But I can just get these eyes closer together, drop them down just a little bit. Let's take a look. Hey, Leonard, how are you? You can also adjust like the depth of the eyes. It's almost like a character creator at this point. You can push them in, pull them out, whatever you want to do. Okay, so when you're done, just make sure you turn those pizza boxes off, clear your mask, and then go in and clean up the bit that's going on here. Just smooth it on down. And then I can turn Sculptress Pro on and just, whoa, not that low. Test it, okay. Get rid of it completely. And we're done. Good. I'm feeling well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah, I can just come through here. And you can see it kind of boogers up my surface a little bit here and there. So you have to come through and just very carefully clean some of that up. Because when you mask off Sculptress Pro geometry and move it, it likes to make not so attractive looking meshes. Hey, Ricardo, how are you? Thank you. That looks like a Luigi Lucarelli avatar that you got going there. He's one of my favorite artists. And I've sculpted several of his concept arts. Yeah, I like this. Now that I have this, it makes me want to pull this in more on the side, make that deeper. I can just try it for funsies. Maybe from this side, pull it back. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know what made me come up with that idea to adjust eyes with, but I love it. I use it all the time. Yeah, how are you, Ash? How's it going? How are you feeling? that sad drawing of you all curled up with the COVID all around. Oh, it made me feel so bad for you. That's a very good depiction of how it feels. Oh, goodness. Okay, so for this bill, let's go with a cylinder. Trying to decide what I want to do with this. You know what? Thanks, Martin. Appreciate it. I think I'm just going to go with a more dense sphere here. Squish it on down. This hat bill makes him look so funny. Put it on my bill. you're don't make me laugh, Ash. I go into coughing coughing fits. Channeling my anger. I've been careful, but people around me not so much, and I got it from them. My first run in it with it, but I'm on the up. Just chest pains and fever that won't kick it yet. I'm done with my fever by far, but I don't have chest pains. But if I breathe deep, it makes me cough, or if I laugh, it makes me cough, and it's just like this dry, not doing anything. My nose is clear, my throat's clear, no issues. Just this weird tickle in the back of my throat. That's why I'm on cough drops and whatnot, Sprite, and it just makes me cough, and it doesn't do anything other than annoy everybody around me, including into the microphone and helping you guys out. So sorry about that. Oh goodness, yeah. So what day is it for you? I think, yeah, I was feeling better on day like 4, I think. Well, I hope not. Thank you. Bourbon, yeah, there you go. Get some bourbon. Oh goodness, I don't want Sculptress on. I just want to smooth it out. I hope you get that cough taken care of. I'm on day 8. It's mild, and I'm hoping it kicks. Yeah. Long COVID. No, thank you. I'm just glad I shouldn't say, because there's people here that might have gotten it, but I'm just glad that I didn't catch the first wave, because my son still doesn't have his taste full 100% back. That's not good at all. Okay, so I want to keep this curl. Had it for 6 months. Oh my gosh, no way. Why would you do that to yourself? Well, maybe some people can't, you know. Okay, let's do auto groups. Hide. Delete. I want that maybe one up higher. Yeah, that was too much of a curl. Settle down there, curl. There we go. You know, I think I'm going to pull it down a little bit more and then adjust the hats to it. Yeah, you do. I think I had my 2 shots and a booster. I still got it, but maybe not as harsh, but who knows, you know? I was also able to get the something pill. Can't remember what it's called. My best friend got it in August 2019, hospitalized. He's now good now, but I've never been so concerned. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. Yeah. We didn't know how it was transmitted. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, Paxlovid. Yeah, the Paxlovid, because I'm on the list, because I got some health stuff going. So I was able to get it. But yeah, reduce the symptoms so you don't carry it for as long, but it's still a nasty bugger. yeah, it helped me get over it quicker. But I feel like I could have easily have dealt with it without that, you know. I just did it as a safety precaution, extra. All right, I think I'm going to delete. From here back, maybe? From here back. This. There we go. Delete. And I'm going to split hidden so I can... Yeah, medical science. Good you're able to get that. It's funny because I tried to get it through my general practitioner, just my normal doctor, and it was... I couldn't get him to call me back. So I had to end up going to like a local shop just down the street. Same kind of network thing, but then I was able to get it that same day. Caught it and the flu within a week of each other. Oh gosh, that is no fun at all. Yeah, no kidding. Eesh. Can I have some more? There you go, flu. Could I get some flu on top? Okay. Would turn me into a mad hermit. Yeah, you know, I was kind of a mad hermit when the lockdown happened. It wasn't a far stretch from what I was doing anyway, so. Yeah, no kidding. Yep, computer, dog, all you need. All right, I'm liking how this hat's turning out, I think. We'll get some eyebrow wrinkles happening. What time we got? 1:30? Okay. I'm going to shape his head a little better underneath this hat so it's not so squared off back here. Yeah, the worst part about it is like clearing my throat. And my kids say that I clear my throat the exact same every single time. Nice. I miss my pupper. We had a beagle. Sweetest beagle ever. Fine now. It took about 3 months before I could smell again. Ooh, goodness sakes. If it wasn't for ZBrush, I would have gone crazy. Yeah, I love beagles. That's the second beagle I've had in my life. Had one growing up, and then I got one for my kids to grow up with. They're the sweetest thing. They shed like crazy, but yeah, just super well mannered, and I love the way they bellow instead of bark. Like a basset hound or something, you know, it's a hound dog. Hound dog. So, a lot of fun. All right. Now for the good fun times. After I fix this thing I just noticed. Character reminds me of John Taruda. I'll have to look that up. You had a Dotson Beagle mix. Oh, man. Love me a Beagle. I love my dog, Native American Indian. Oh, nice. It's wonderful, but a tough breed to train. Interesting. The Beagle was fantastic to train. She was crate and potty trained within the first month, I swear. Super fast. Yeah, your Corgi is amazing. Corgi, I know the shedding struggle. Vacuum every 3 days. Oh, goodness. Best Corgi ever. Yeah, I am liking the closer eyeballs, I think. I like it a lot. All right. Okay, we're good. We're good. Let me kind of turn that bill up. Oh, thanks. Means a lot. Thank you so much. Oh, guess I got a better. Guess I better click the correct sub tool. And mask lasso and this. And let's do the bendy loo trick. Bend to my loo. Okay. So if you guys don't know what this trick is, I've done it a couple times. I had my nephew's corgi for a weekend. I'm still vacuuming the hair. Kleenex box. Oh man. Oh goodness. Okay, so this is the ye old Transpose Line. A lot of people still use it. I like the gizmo, but I still return to the Transpose Line for this one trick. I feel like it's a YouTube video, and I'm laying down a clickbait line. You can bend the bill with this one trick. If you grab you have to be on move. You can't be on rotate or scale. So push W, and then you stretch the line out along whatever it is you want to bend, and then you hold down Alt and click on this little white circle, and you can bend stuff like this. And it depends on where the transpose line is in relation to the thing that you're trying to bend. Oh yeah, the focal shift. Thanks, Neil. I forget that. Yeah, the ZBrush peeps went along and they changed this focal shift. Does it have to be up to 100? Oh no. I want to put this right. It bends on a bell curve. So let me get out my little drawing tool and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So it bends like this, like that. It doesn't bend like this. So let's see. Let me turn. So I think the focal shift is okay on this. Maybe let's turn it. Oh, I never use that anymore. I use the deforms. I forgot what focal shift you need. Yeah. I think I'm gonna use the deforms now that I've gotten to this point, because I can just rotate it up like this with just rotate, and that's kind of what I'm after, honestly. In production, do they ever use fiber mesh, or industry uses Maya XGen? And if it's fiber mesh for stylized character, what production pipeline? So you can use fiber mesh. You can send the curves over to Maya XGen if you're doing it for a realistic character. For a stylized character, me personally, I like thick, chunky hair. So you can use thick, chunky fiber mesh, but you have to be very, very specific with it. And I'm going to actually do some thick fiber mesh with this guy. And you have to fill in all the gaps so it's 3D printable if you're going to use it for 3D prints. But for games or film, you don't really use fiber mesh for that. You just like sculpt it. And it's rather than, using fiber mesh. Let's see. Just want the end of this to come up. You have to be very, very deliberate with the thickness of it. Okay. Pink Hat Johnny. Oh, thanks. Is that under? Thanks for that, Leonard. I appreciate it. All right. Turn that back. Okay. let's save it and play with some fiber mesh now, shall we? This guy's cracking me up. All right, he's fun. I feel like I want to make his face wider down here. I feel like, but just this neck is telling me that it's not that wide. More like a pelican. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. It feels like its face is way too narrow from this view. So I'm gonna have to go through and I'll fix that. But for where the hair is gonna be, I can add hair and it won't affect it too much. So let's go ahead and do that. So not with this, okay. Mask pen. At front circle of the gizmo, you can also bend. Oh, right. I forget about that one too. Let's go like this. This will be interesting. So what I did was I saved the fiber mesh hair profile from another character that I did during the live stream. Whoops. And because it's curly hair. It's from the smoking guy that I did, and I liked how it turned out. His is a lot thinner than this guy's, so I wanted to start with that one and then see if I can tweak it and modify it to look like super curly, tight hair like this that can possibly end up being 3D printable, but I'm not holding my breath. Okay. And I already have it loaded in here, and it's very sparse, so it'll look funny. Let's check it out. Fiber mesh. Let's hit preview. Yeah, see, it's very sparse. So I got this this hair from, let me see if I can show you guys. Where's my finder? Let's see if it's in this list somewhere. No. Is there a way to mirror the mask when you realize you didn't have symmetry on? Not really. Not that I know of. Where did that go? Oh, it's opening up in Photoshop. That's a Photoshop file. All right, sorry. Here's Photoshop. This guy. So, yeah, this is a guy that I did. You can see his crazy curly hair that I made. That's fiber mesh right there. Okay, close this. A bit of a newbie here. Would you say fiber mesh alone is a great tool for rendering hair, or would you use anything else to work in tandem with? Yeah, just like Ashley said, it depends on the look of your work and where you're going with it. So if you're going, if you're taking it to like a 3D print, it's going to have to be super thick and printable. If you're going to a film, you're going to have to use fibers and take it elsewhere, like into Maya or something that has a hair solution. And for a game, you'd probably end up doing hair cards or doing it thick like I'm going to do it, and being able to bake maps for it. Okay, let's see. Where was I? Fiber mesh. Where are you, fiber mesh? Oh, you're in a different thing. Okay. So modifiers. Now the modifiers, I want to crank up the max fibers, but before I do that, I want to thicken all these things. you can kind of see how it's getting distributed across the surface. Now this is just a preview, and I can hide the mask hitting Control H, right, Cricket? She's the one who showed me that. All right, so now you can't see the mesh and have it get in your way, but basically I want to thicken these guys up. The profile of 4, that's how many sides these hairs have. You don't really want to go above 4. I just thought, actually, do you ever use Paul's fiber mesh method of creating geo and replacing it with fiber mesh like his beard demo? I might have to check that out. Might be interesting with that crazy hair shape. So, Ashley, do you remember where he demoed that? I'll have to check it out because I'm not sure I know. There you go. Look at that. Boof, boof. Not quite the look, but fun all the same. Okay, thank you. I'm going to change the background color so you guys can see this better. I'm going to end up coughing you guys, going into a choke and fit. Back. There we go. Oh, did Paul DC tell you? Okay. Now with fiber mesh, you kind of just have to get it like close to where you want it to be, and then you can go in with like move brushes and stuff. Yeah, Paul Gabry. I thought that's what you're talking about, Ash, but I think Cricket was talking about Paul DC for something else. I'm not sure. What are you talking about, Rain? You said mirror by posable symmetry? I think I'm out of that conversation. The other buttons flip the mask from one side to the other. Yeah, I don't know that you can mirror. Oh, you're talking about the mirror the mask conversation. Okay. Hey, Unstable, how are you? Okay. Oh, this guy's hilarious. Let me see if I can shrink these down a little bit. Revolve radius. This is how many times it circles. Scale roots. So coverage. Yeah, coverage is the thickness of each curl. Oh, no worries. I think I was just not understanding. Okay, I can't find it, but something to do with morph target guided fiber mesh. Morph target guided fiber mesh. I'll ask Paul. But thank you. Okay, now it's a little too much, so let's let's tune the length down a little bit. Well, there's not really any gravity going on. It's kind of just sticking up everywhere. But I can get it close, and then I can go in here and move things around, because I really don't want any air pockets happening in here. So when I 3D print it, it's not going to have oozing resin. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to get it close. So even stuff like this, I don't really care about, because I can fix it by actually sculpting it and moving it around. I'm just trying to get the surface and the texture to look something like what I could use. Okay, so I think this is something I could use, honestly. Okay, so once you get to a happy place with your hair, which is, I made it look easy because I pulled in something that already existed, but sometimes it takes a really long time to get to a happy place, and sometimes the happy place never comes. You never find it, so you end up doing something else. But today we ended up making it work, so we're gonna hit accept. I'm gonna say no on fast preview. Then we are here. Interesting, it gave us a couple polygroups. There must have been some kind of like masking islands or something that it was looking at, maybe on the inside of the ear or something. I don't know, but I might, let's see what it looks like without those bits. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. I'm just going to delete those extra guys. You could turn on dynamic subdivision. It gets really squirrely. That's kind of fun. And then we can run a close holes on it, which will cap all the ends. Looks like I have I'm good at faking it. This is like super happy accident life right now happening. Yeah, the red hair, like Ronald McDonald. You're probably right. Look at that, like worms. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this off in case I ever want to go back, because I'm going to start to fine tune this. See what happens. I'm going to turn dynamic off just so I can move it quicker. And just start pulling this out. Here, let's put it all in one poly group. Not that it matters, but Columbia, hello. Like maggots. I thought that, I didn't say it. Okay, and I can also inflate. Just kind of come through here. Maybe I don't want to inflate that. Rice green mosh pit. Yeah. Hey, what's up? Yeah, eventually. And then what I could do is turn on topological and start to pull out just a couple loose ones. Oh gosh. Yeah. Weevils wobble. Okay, I want these extra bits coming up off the back here. So I think what I'm going to do is auto group this. It's going to look like colored spaghetti. Where can I find that topological button? You can find it under Brush, Auto Masking, Topological. So this topology or topological button, it turns the move brush into a topological move brush. It'll actually turn all of these brushes into a topological whatever brush. That's why I have that button out here and not the topological move, because it has the same functionality. Okay. Yeah, look at all these curly bits. Okay, so what I was going to do, if I can, is just start hiding a bunch of these on the back. It's like cereal. You know, I might go back and duplicate these hairs because I think by moving it, it lost some of this nice curly integrity that's happening right here. It's kind of squished hairs up here. So, hey, what's up, Samwise? Off topic, but man, Bevel Pro saved my butt at work the other day. Awesome. Yeah, I need to get in there and use that more. Okay. So, I'm going to grab the history, roll it on back to before I pulled it out. Right there. Okay. No, I'm not going to inflate balloon. I'm going to grab a bunch of these and duplicate them and move them around. Because I just want more of what I have. I don't want to break it. Okay, so let's do auto groups. And this way I can delete offending hairs instead of moving them like this. That's better. Why didn't I think of that in the first place? I don't know. Maybe because I'm live streaming and my brain gets distracted. Rain. So just so you know, Rain, I've used ZBrush for the last 7 years. And so I appreciate the comments, but I'm blaming in the chat. I always blame the chat. It's you guys. Oh, goodness. Sorry. A little salty for some reason. Yep. I'm just joking. All right, delete hidden. Let's go. Let's just go ahead and duplicate this. Yeah, dude, Rain, I'm just joking with you, man. It's totally fine. But sometimes it's like, you know, somebody's working on your car and you go back in there and you're just like, hey, maybe you should try this. You know what I mean? And they've been doing it for a long time. I know you just mean well. There we go. That's what I want. That's what I want. It reminds me of there's like a red-haired guy on the first Despicable Me. There we go. Duplicating is cheating. Work smarter, not harder, man. Ashley, don't. You're going to send me into a choking fit again. Again. To see this big gap, I got to fill that big gap now. with maggots. Fill that gap with maggots. I think I might crease the edges on these so they're not so maggoty. Because I like this look better than this look. You know? So let's duplicate this again. And we're going to push these in. Sorry, Rain. I was being a jerk. I apologize. And now, well, I could merge all these together. So it's just one big conglomerate of curly curls. What time is it? Oh, gosh, I got 10 minutes left. Okay. all the tools in there. Okay, merging down, merging down. I don't really use Dynamesh anymore. I'll just tell you that right now. So I use Remesh by Union. You should try it. It's awesome. No, not Vector Mix for me. I'm talking about the guy who runs. He runs the carnival, like the thing that's trying to rip him off. Do you have time to show us Remesh by Union? Yeah, sure. I usually use it on other things. What is it called? The carnival game in the carnival. That red-headed dude with the hair kind of like this. Hey, just in case. Do the overlapping faces drop off? Yes, just like Dynamesh. They get gone. He's broken. Hey, Hannibal, how are you doing? All the parts have to be merged before... Oh, and do all the parts have to be merged? Yes, they all have to be in the same subtool. The ball toss guy. Yep, knocked over. All right. Oh, I got to be careful because some of these, I got to do a new auto groups. There we go. Okay, so let's just try it and see if it crashes. If it crashes, I'm done with my stream. Because there's a lot to merge here, but hey, we'll try it. Let's go delete hidden on this guy. Okay, we have this huge mess. I'm just going to hit Control W because I don't want it to try and keep polygroups or anything like that, because that's just another thing to do. But we have kind of this cluster of hair. I wouldn't merge this quite yet. I'd make sure that these all these holes are filled even more. And if I were to 3D print this, I would put something what I call bubble gum inside of there to fill in all the gaps even more. So, okay, well, the stream's not going to end. Just ZBrush will crash. So, okay, here we go. Fingers crossed. Drum roll. Okay, so it's inside the gizmo. You just grab the gizmo, go here. Let me save it. That's a good idea. Save. Before, anytime you do something that might crash, you save it. Okay. Right here, it's called Remesh by Union. And essentially what it is it's like doing a live Boolean with no Booleans. So you know how when you do a live Boolean, it will stitch objects together, and then wherever the objects stitch together, it will get rid of interior geometry, and it will leave like the little triangles all around. Okay, so let's do it. Look how fast. Boom, it's done. And accept. That's it. It's all stitched together. Doesn't look like it changed much, but if you zoom in, you can see all these little triangles, and it's all stitched together. Yep. So it got rid of all the interior geometry, and you keep all the details. So the biggest thing is with Dynamesh will kind of melt your object a little bit, whereas Remesh by Union will not. Remesh by Union will only affect the areas where objects are crossing each other. That's it. It keeps everything else. So, yeah, I just found that one day, and I'm just like, ooh, how does this work? Oh my goodness, this is awesome. Yeah, that was me when I was finding it. Okay. Anyway, there you go. And now, and also don't use dynamic subdivisions after you've remeshed it, okay? Because dynamic subdivision will, dynamic subdivision does not play well with Sculptris Pro or Dynamesh or a remeshed mesh. Not a Z remesh mesh. It works great with that. But a remesh by union mesh, because it's full of triangles. Anything that has triangles in it, you don't want to dynamesh, or you don't want to dynamically subdivide. Sorry, there's too many D words in there. And then you can decimate this for 3D printing. So essentially, this is as messy as I've seen anything you do. Yeah. And you are here to witness. Very crunchy, very crunchy. Yeah, no applying smoothing, none of that business. So honestly, this would probably 3D print okay, but you know how you can test if something's gonna 3D print very well? You basically make a box. I'm gonna show you something secret today, you guys. Secret 3D printing secrets. Okay. Yeah, there is a hole in the middle because I stitched this together too soon. You guys wanted a demo, so I gave you a demo. I did it too soon, but now you saw how it works. I would go in there and I would do it differently. Okay, I'm making this box, and this is like a preview slicer box. Okay, so what I'm going to do is split unmask points, turn solo off, and I'm just going to show you the hair. So I'm going to delete this one. Put the box above it. And then I can put the box in a folder, Control F. I'm just going to name this slice. And then I put the box and the hair both in this folder. Not that it matters too much, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide everything in this scene except for the box and the hair. And you can just inflate the center to fill the gap. You can do that, but it's not. The better thing to do is you would want to inflate it, then remesh by union it. Or what I like to do is I like to just take a sphere. I call it bubble gum because it's like chewed up bubble gum you're shoving in the cracks. You just put a big sphere and stretch it all up inside there. And you just don't let the sphere pop out to interfere with the exterior hair bits that you want to see, and that'll just fill everything up. So, okay. Oh, thanks, Hannibal. How you doing, man? Okay, so let's just test this. You switch this over to cut, turn live boolean on, grab the cube, the A cubed, grab that cube, and then pull it on down, and it should cut into the hair. Why is it not? Because they have to be visible. There we go. There it goes. Okay. Turn this to I consent. Grab the cube. Okay, come on, cube. Why aren't you cutting it? Slice it. The cube should be at the bottom. Thank you, Leonard. You're right. Okay, there we go. Oh, Leonard, you're a savior. Okay, I can never remember the order. Okay, awesome. All right, thanks, Imperial. Everybody's like, hey, it's got to be below. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, this is to see if it's going to work on a 3D printer and if you have holes. Okay, so if this is how a 3D printer works, if you didn't know, it basically starts from the bottom and it prints as it's going like this. Da, 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 da. And if you have holes inside of here, these are called air pockets. If you have air pockets if you have a little bit and the resin can escape, then you're fine. But if you have big pockets like this, you're going to have to fill them so resin doesn't get stuck in there and doesn't get cured, and then it just leaks out later on. So Yeah, this is a way to preview how the object is going to slice inside of ZBrush. Okay. And what's cool is you can take this cube and you can fill it with whatever color you want. You can just do an obnoxious color like this, fill it, and then you can see it even better. So again, you can just go up and down, and yeah, there you go. That's how you check for pockets in your 3D prints. All right, with that, I'm out of here, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for hanging out, Ashley. Appreciate it. Like an MRI, exactly. Scan your models like an MRI scan. The air pockets only applies with resin printers, correct. Yeah, extrusion printers, you don't have to care. Yeah, because extrusion printers will just print that regardless. Regardless. Yeah, so once again, I am running a promo on my course right now. It's called the Back to School promo. If you're interested, use the coupon code Back to School, no spaces, during checkout. So it's going for another couple days. I think maybe it might end tomorrow. So if you're interested in joining the course, 3dcharacterworkshop.com, and you can go over there, enter the coupon code for 25% off. It's a big old chunk off. So if you're interested. And then I give away my brushes for free. They're at the same place. They are 3D Character Workshop. Just scroll down about halfway down the page and you'll find them. And this user interface, my ruler file, all of that I give away for free. So if you're interested, go check it out. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Catch you next Monday. All right, cheers. Thank you. Thanks, Neil. Thanks, everybody. See you later. Bye-bye.